Most people don't quit. They just stop finishing. If that sounds familiar, take a second to like and subscribe. These stories are for anyone still figuring things out, one step at a time. Now, let's begin. Evan stared at the screen longer than he meant to. Not because the work was difficult, but because it reminded him how many times he had stopped just short of finishing. Plans half built, goals paused, ideas that once felt exciting, now quietly collecting dust. He told himself he was being careful, responsible, waiting for the right moment, but deep down he knew the truth. He wasn't stuck because he couldn't move forward. He was stuck because moving forward meant risking disappointment again. The room was quiet except for the hum of the computer. Then footsteps. Lena leaned against the doorway, arms folded loosely, studying him without judgment. "You've been staring at that screen like it personally offended you," she said. Evan let out a dry laugh. "Feels like it knows all my unfinished business." She stepped inside, glancing at the screen. "You look like someone who hit pause and forgot where the button was." He rubbed his eyes. "I just don't want to start something I won't finish." Lena nodded slowly. "That makes sense," she said. "And it's also how people stay exactly where they are." Evan didn't argue, because she wasn't wrong. She pulled up a chair and sat beside him. "When did you start treating progress like a final exam?" she asked. "After failing enough times," he admitted. She smiled softly. "That's funny. I always thought failure was just feedback." The idea settled quietly. Evan realized he'd been waiting for confidence to arrive before taking action, as if certainty were a requirement instead of a result. "You don't unlock the final level by staring at it," Lena said. "You unlock it by finishing the quest in front of you." Something shifted, not motivation, not excitement, relief. Evan turned back to the screen, not thinking about where it would lead, just about the next step, and that felt manageable. The challenge didn't arrive dramatically. It showed up as a problem that refused to stay small, a critical error, one that threatened to undo weeks of progress. Evan tried the obvious fixes, then the careful ones. Nothing worked. The familiar voice returned. "You've gone far enough. You can stop here and still call this progress." Quitting felt reasonable. That's when Lena appeared again. "I've never seen someone argue with the screen and lose this badly," she said. Evan sighed. "This might break everything." "Good," she replied. "For a second there, I was worried this was easy." He frowned. "You're not stuck," she continued. "You're standing at the part where people decide if they were serious." "I don't know if I can fix this," he said. "Then don't fix everything," she replied. "Fix the smallest thing that proves you still can." Evan reopened the problem, not to solve it, just to understand it. The solution arrived slowly, in pieces. One choice to stay instead of walk away. By the time the error cleared, it was late. The work was still there, intact. The challenge hadn't tested his skill. It tested whether he would disappear when things broke. This time he didn't. The final test arrived quietly. A deadline moved up. Requirements locked. If he missed it, everything would be discarded. Weeks of effort, every adjustment, gone. Evan stripped the work down, removed what he loved, kept what mattered. As the deadline closed in, doubt tried one last time. You could leave now. But that thought no longer sounded like protection. He submitted the work. Not perfect, just complete. Approved. Evan didn't celebrate, because what mattered had already happened. He had stayed. The days after didn't feel dramatic. Work continued. Life stayed ordinary. One evening, as Evan closed his laptop, Lena spoke. "You know," she said, "I almost didn't say anything that first night." Evan looked up. "Why not?" "I thought you'd push me away," she said. "You always tried to do things alone." "I didn't know you noticed," he said. "I did," she replied. "I just waited." Evan let that settle. All this time, he thought the journey was about proving he could finish, about doing it on his own. But it hadn't been. He hadn't done it alone. Not because he needed saving, but because someone chose to stay nearby. And he finally let that count. "Next time," he said, "don't wait." Lena smiled, not triumphant, just present. They turned off the light and left the room together. The work would continue. New challenges would come. But Evan no longer mistook solitude for strength. And that quiet understanding marked the end of the journey he needed to take alone.